Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
Yeah, how are you?
Pretty good. Just super tired. Didn't sleep well yesterday, but aside from that, doing pretty good. What about yourself?
I'm good, battling a little stuffiness and that's about it. But yeah, I'm good.
That's good to hear.
Spring.
Yeah, me too. I'm over this cold, and it's so good. It's only been like a couple of days of cold. I'm just like, I don't want to do it.
Listen, I'm over it. I'm like,
Absolutely. So, anywho, I guess we can go ahead and jump right into these hot topics for this week. Might as well start off straight with the foolishness. The biggest topic that has been all over everything has been the terrorists that stormed the Capitol over, the little Trump supporters. They went to the Capitol and decided to attempt to, do a coup to stop to stop Congress from confirming Joe Biden as president, even though, votes have already been cast. Electoral College already cast all their votes. But anyway, so needless to say, they decided to storm the Capitol. There were 5 people who were killed, countless people who are injured, and now we're seeing kind of the aftermath of that. We're seeing multiple arrests being made, basically, of these little terrorists that were running around. We're seeing them in the airports being detained. They're finding out that they are on the no-fly list because, FYI, if you decide to basically commit treason, you are going to be labeled as a domestic terrorist and will not be allowed to fly. So,
did you see the clip on Shade Room of the guy? I don't know what airline he was on, but I know it wasn't Delta because the lady was like, "Well, I was banned from Delta earlier." I mean, he was living and he didn't have a mask on. I'm like, first of all, sir, every airport has like a mask mandate. Where's your mask?
Exactly. And FYI, did you see that meme, by the way, where people was like, so of course your dumb ass gonna decide to storm the Capitol, and the one thing that you didn't do was put on your fucking mask to hide your face.
Right. Be like, for nothing else, to hide your fucking face. And I also saw another meme where they was like, so y'all realize booked hotels under y'all name and plane tickets to go commit a crime. And I was like, you know what? This got to be about the whitest shit
ever.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I'm like, yeah, that's not even this year, like ever. You booked a plane ticket, went through security, they take your picture again, and you got a hotel. What was y'all thinking about? And then you had the idiot that wore his work badge to the protest. Yeah. And they your job to call the FBI on your day off and to fire you. What the fuck?
World's dumbest criminals.
Like, it was, I don't know, like I was watching the live coverage of, and the crazy thing about it is, I can't speak for nobody else, but I will speak for myself. I didn't even know this shit happened. Like, whatever happened on January 6th, this was my first year since I've been born that I even knew that something like this happened on January 6th. I'm like, pretty much after the election is called, I'm like, I mean, you just deal with whatever. So I didn't even know it happened. I was actually watching it, and I was like, what the fuck happened? And the meeting just adjourned all of a sudden. I was like, is Mike Pence being swooped out of there? And then, of course, that's when the news broke or whatever, they are, descending on the Capitol. And you thinking like, oh, it might be like, 2 or 3 people that have broke in and you get it. So all y'all just, I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And some of the stories wrote themselves. Like the lady was like, we coming to the Capitol and can't nothing stop us. Man.
Exactly.
Something stops you. They got you. And I heard like it's a Black woman that has put out a Say Her Name campaign for her, ma'am, first of all, this is not your fight. That's the biggest one. And Say Her Name, to me, that's offensive as fuck.
Absolutely.
To even put that hashtag, I'm like, no, ma'am. She was not unjustly killed by the police. This woman was literally somewhere where she didn't have any business being. These people were literally being hurt, kicked, stomped, beat, killed. So of course they're going to fucking take aim at her, and they already telling you to get the fuck back, and she's still trying to come through the window.
Exactly.
So I'm like, she is not a fucking. If she a hashtag for stupidity, not for being unjustly killed by the police. She was not.
Exactly. I would like when I saw that, I was so fucking offended. I was like, the audacity of y'all after all the mocking that y'all did of our protests, of Black Lives Matter, the audacity of y'all even started y'all own little fucking hashtag with the Blue Lives Matter bullshit, and then for y'all to go out here and actually beat on and kill police officers, it just goes to show y'all didn't give a fuck about no cops. It was just so that y'all could say something against our protests and our, the shit that we was going through.
Because I'm like, the first time y'all got an opportunity, if you cared about police officers, you would have been like, nah. And the crazy thing about it is, and I think this speaks to, I'm going to say, I guess our humanity or I don't know. I guess that's the best word I can say, is that we real life will sit there and draw a line in our protest and be like, listen, this is what we can't do. And I'm like, you got savages out there that's like, listen, I mean, in a grand scheme of things, these people were ready to, for me, knowing that you got bombs, you got stocks of weapons, you got zip ties and all of this stuff. What the fuck? Y'all were ready to kill these people.
Exactly. They were literally real life committing treason. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Every last one of them that are caught should be brought up on charges of treason and locked in fucking jail. Okay? Because we all know if the roles were reversed, and matter of fact, we don't even have to know. We saw it when the Black Lives Matter protests took place on DC. We saw the complete difference. Okay? The police presence was heavy. There was, they were everywhere. The Capitol Police were everywhere. They hid President Trump down in a bunker. And all we were doing was peacefully protesting outside. These people literally stormed the Capitol. They were going inside. Y'all out there taking selfies with them, putting on MAGA hats, laughing and joking. That's why I'm glad to see that an investigation is taking place with the Capitol Police as well, to see, because they believe that it was an inside job, that there were Capitol Police officers that were helping out these savages, these terrorists. So,
but did you see the one clip where it shows where one of the officers actually opened one of the barricades? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, y'all just letting them through, because I think the first part of the footage was these people just roaming the halls, taking pictures, looked like they was going live. And I'm like, Black Lives Matter, first of all, couldn't even probably set a foot on the fucking steps.
Facts.
And then we saw on national fucking TV where y'all were tear gassing. And then it's all of this. Well, we was concerned about the optics. Why were you concerned about having the National Guard on the Capitol steps? You'd have had them there before. You had them there for Black Lives Matter for a mostly peaceful protest. I'm like, you probably had one or two, agitators or whatever you want to call them in a crowd of thousands of people, where you had literally thousands of people that stormed the Capitol. And I'm not saying that everybody that was at the Save the Vote or whatever, it was still a stupid ass rally, that Trump held anyway. And not saying that everybody that went to that rally went to the Capitol, even was in the Capitol. But I'm like, you had a big majority of that crowd that was literally just hanging out at the Capitol like they were at, a resort or something, or at a party.
Right.
And I'm like, And you show that you don't give a fuck about America. You just care about Trump, white supremacy. That's all. Because how the fuck you take the American flag down to put up a Trump flag?
Talk on it.
Like, what the fuck? Like, if that's not like traitor, like treason ass shit, like, bro, you took down the American flag that you quote unquote love so much, and you trying to save this country from immigrants and black people and all of this, and people need to go back where they came from. You love this country so much, but you literally took down the very thing that y'all quote unquote was mad at Colin Kaepernick for, kneeling, and it's disrespectful to the veterans. Why you take down American flag? Because to me, that's disrespectful as fuck.
Listen. And did you see how many military people were involved in the whole coup? My thing is, they should have their federal money taken away from them. That's all I'm saying. They should have their federal fucking money taken away from them. You commit treason against this country after you signed up to protect and serve. I don't give a fuck if you retired, if you no longer, but you still get money from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you retire, you still get money from it. I know, because my parent is a retired military, so I know that you still get money from it. You still get health care from it once you retire. Take that shit away. You committed treason against this country. You shouldn't be getting money from them no more.
Because one the zip tie guy, I think he was like a retired military official, and it wasn't like he had like a small rank. I think he had like a high rank. Like, bro, what the fuck were you doing there?
Exactly. What the fuck were you doing there?
And you like, it just, I don't know. It did not shock or surprise me at all, because I'm like, this is America. I guess for me, it was some of the things were hard to watch. Like the officer that was wedged in between the door. It was some hard things to watch. But for overall, I was like, shit, this is America. When people was talking like, I can't believe, I'm like, why you can't believe that it happened? I'm like, you literally let white supremacy fester for as long as you let it fester. Because I'm like, when we look at Trump didn't start his bullshit when he came in office. Trump had a whole birther movement against Barack Obama. And just to address all the people, and I'm not like this loyalist to Barack Obama, he made some mistakes during his presidency. But I'm like, y'all call him a treasonous for giving back Iran their money that we took from them. That was they fucking money. Mm-hmm. And y'all call him a traitor for giving those people their money back. But then you have a president that's saying, listen, I'm going to make Congress a sitting fucking duck, and you can go down there in the Capitol. I'm not going to send them any help. I'm like, this shit is almost out of a fucking movie. You thinking like, it almost make you think about like Olympus Down. Because it's like, this can't be fucking real.
That's true. That's true. It definitely played out like a movie. That is for sure.
Yeah. Because I was like, it was just so many things. And again, I don't know if you've noticed, but baby, when I tell you they chunking that blame around like a fucking basketball, like hot potato.
Yeah. And we are definitely kind of seeing the aftermath now. The Democrats in both the House and the Senate have brought up articles of impeachment for the second time in Trump's presidency. He is being brought up on charges of impeachment. So I was one of the people, I'm not going to lie, who I questioned why bring him up on articles of impeachment when there's only, a couple of days left. But I was educated, and it finds out that if he is impeached, then he does not receive his pension. There's different things that will occur if the impeachment does go through. So I get it now. At first I was like, what's the point at this point? Just let him get out of office. But now I get it. I see that, like I said, he won't receive a pension. There's other charges he could face. So, okay, it makes sense to me now.
Yeah. And just to add, like, the impeachment can go on after he leaves office. So it doesn't stop. That's just more of, I guess, making it legal, puts him on paper, and he can't run for office like another federal office again. I think that's a big one. And like you said, he loses his, like, he doesn't have his pension. He loses his protection,
Right.
like a lot of benefits, like the travel and all of that. So it's like basically you on your fucking own.
Yeah.
Which is important. I feel like, no, you don't deserve any fucking money from the U.S. You don't deserve anything. And I'm like, this is the first president during when you think about our era, that when he leaves office, you probably like, what the fuck is he gonna do with the U.S. fucking secrets? You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that the country is bullshit, but it's like, nigga, I still want to be kind of protected in this motherfucker where we already fighting against the police and, white supremacists. Like, shit, who the hell he gonna sell the secrets to?
Listen, okay? That's a whole fucking ticking time bomb right there.
Yeah.
And we're also hearing that he may try to pardon himself. So, I mean, it's just getting out of hand. So, listen, we thought 2021 was gonna be, but shit, we only a couple days in and shit's getting crazy.
2021 came in and said, hold my fucking beard. Like, listen, I'm like, can we not? Be like, after 2020, can we not?
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I was not shocked. And I mean, they literally let white people roam free. So I'm like, that's basically what the fuck happened. I do want to know just for, I guess, my own knowledge. I'm like, shit, we probably won't know until 10 or 15 years from now when documentaries come out like 9/11 about, what breaches happened, who didn't do what they were supposed to do. What the fuck was y'all thinking about? You had thousands of people that was coming to the Capitol. You had intelligence that it was going to be some bullshit. And y'all still only had one law enforcement unit. You only had the Capitol Police. And I know, like, the governor of Maryland, he was at the ready to send in the National Guard or send in his people or the police department. And they were saying no.
Yeah. So it's definitely some shit in the background.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I guess it's kind of staying in that lane, the fallout from this presidency and everything that's been going on. We see that pretty much every social media account or every kind of social media platform, all the big ones anyway, have issued a ban on Trump. They've issued a ban on a lot of his kind of supporters who try to let them use their accounts. The super racist conservative site Parler has been removed from app stores. Amazon, who was hosting it, has removed it off of their platform. The CEO is upset, saying that he's being censored and that his company may go out of business, which we don't give a fuck about. But nonetheless, basically this just brings us to something that we've kind of seen floating around for a long time. And we see some certain celebrities, i.e. Carrie Hilson, kind of putting their foot in their mouth in talks about censorship around this whole Donald Trump thing and him being banned. Basically, Carrie Hilson, she said that if you take Donald Trump out of the situation, we should be upset about Twitter and Facebook and all of that censoring and banning his account because of the fact, the First Amendment, yada, yada, yada. For me and for you, Falan DeAnn, I mean, we both, when we read it, we laughed our asses off because we were like, this is just another instance of, like, celebrities and shit like that talking about shit that they don't clearly understand or don't know shit about. A lot of people quote the First Amendment, but actually don't read the whole fucking First Amendment. A lot of people don't understand the concept of censorship. They don't understand the concept of privately owned companies. They don't understand that when you sign up for social media, that little blurb that you all skip over and don't read, the terms of service that says that they can ban you, kick you off for their platform for any fucking thing that they deem going against, their terms of fucking listen, it's beyond the fuck out of me.
Yeah. And that's what I didn't understand about her. When I'm like, when it comes down to any, she was like, I've had friends that have been kicked off Twitter for lit. It doesn't matter if you can put a picture on Instagram. If the people on Instagram don't like it, it comes off of Instagram. If you keep doing it, Instagram can kick you off. That is a private owned company. And if just like if anything that comes up, if you don't like it, you make your own platform. And then that way you can tell people, hey, I don't want you to post this on my platform. You gotta get off. I'm like, so, and it's just the whole thing about, oh, the First Amendment is protection. It's protection from the government from you saying what you want to say. If you're on a private owned, they don't owe you shit.
Nothing.
So it was just for her. I was like, girl, be quiet. Like, y'all got to stop doing this. And I'm like, and then again, it goes also to when people like, it's my First Amendment right to say blah, blah, blah. Why they get charged? Because your First Amendment right can't be inciting a fucking riot.
Facts. Okay? Facts. There are 2 statements in the First Amendment. So I suggest for all of y'all who quote the First Amendment to go back and read that shit. Okay? Because the second part lets you know that no, you cannot incite riots. You cannot attempt to overthrow the fucking government. That you are not protected under the First Amendment. Okay, if you commit treason, you are not protected under the First fucking Amendment. The fuck is wrong with y'all?
And then, of course, it took Waka Flock ass and come in. She talking real. She ain't talking no goddamn truth, and you don't either. Shut the fuck up. Tammy, come get your husband.
Basically, I'm sick of this celebrity culture in that they feel like that because they have a platform, that they can speak on shit that they honestly don't know shit about. Like half of them, I wonder, have y'all ever did y'all take y'all civics class? Did y'all pay attention? Like, did you pay attention in civics class? Because by the statements that y'all making, y'all didn't at all. So
I don't know where he was going. And just to I don't know, because people well, piggybacking off that where they were saying, well, Donald Trump account was suspended 4 years too late. And I was like, I agree with that statement, but I also see Twitter's point of view as well. Or platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. It's like, this is the president that's tweeting. And you don't want to cut that off because you cut off his communication. I mean, unfortunately, we had an idiot as president. So I'm like, I can see their point as well. It's like, okay, we can at least put a caveat on here and be like, it's not true. And I was like, and I think for Donald Trump's statements as well, if you had a little piece of a brain and just type in what he said, you would see people that fact checked his shit and was like, he lying or it's partial truth. So I'm like, I think now for the people that follow him, if you still with this bullshit, you're an idiot. Just plain and fucking simple. I'm like, we had an election. It was not rigged. It was fair. You had states like Arizona that have been doing mail-in votes. Nothing really changed about their election other than they had more mail-in votes for COVID. And I'm like, we have to change and adapt with the times.
Right.
I'm like, so you can't sit and be like, okay, we need to have millions of people vote. And I'm like, in this election, what you're looking at 150 million people vote. And we also in the middle of a pandemic. There's some adjustments that we have to do. And you have to be open to those adjustments because I'm like, if it was flipped and Donald Trump would have won, then it would have been, his supporters. Well, you just have to accept the results because that's what we heard 4 years ago when you like, how the fuck he win and he lost the popular, by 3 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and we were just told, oh, you just got to accept the vote and blah, blah, blah. So now we're here in 2020 and y'all don't want to accept it. Y'all are literally pissy fucking mad, like shitty mad because y'all defecated in the Capitol.
Big fan.
So I don't know. I was like, it's unfortunate. And just to see, and I'm like, and just to put this out there as well, because I'm like, I think we all, not certain for me, but sometimes we get in our head that racists are hillbillies with 1-2s living in the sticks and, You know, they just from Kentucky. They ain't got no electricity. They didn't graduate from high school. When we have seen time and time again, and this protest or those terrorists that stormed the Capitol is a good example. These are teachers. These are lawyers. These are lawmakers. These are the people that served behind, you know, served with Black soldiers in the army, served over Black, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. These races come in all shapes, sizes, occupations. They are everywhere. That's facts. I guess we can move on to some other quick hitters. Camila Harris, she was on the cover of Vogue, or she's going to be on the cover of Kamala Harris, Lord. She's going to be on the cover of Vogue, and there's been a little bit of controversy around it. I saw that there was two covers, one where she's like in a powder blue suit, and then in another cover, she's in like this darker suit with like looks like some chucks or something like that. I don't know. People are talking about it in the sense that they think that she was whitewashed. I guess she was lightened with the, you know how they do retouches and filters and shit like that. I don't know. I saw it. I mean, obviously, it wasn't, in my opinion, the most fashionable. I think she's looked better, but Vogue has been doing a shitty job lately anyway on everybody, in my opinion. So
I didn't give her whitewash. Now I will say, because I'm like, you have to think about it. So I'm like, she's not fucking dark either.
Right.
I wasn't hit with the cover because I'm like, when you think about Vogue, you think fashion. And I'm like, there was nothing fashionable about even the way that the clothes fit on her. I'm like, I've seen her come to press conference with better fitting clothes. I'm like, we seen her when she was getting out the plane one time when she had the Timberlands on and the clothes fit better. So I was like, it was a no for me.
Exactly. I mean, but again, like I said, these last couple of Vogues that I've seen of even artists or who, you know, different celebrities who've been on, some of them have been shitty. Vogue has just not been what it used to be. Let's be honest. So, yeah, it is what it is. I also saw that just recently they said that they have classified Cuba again as terrorist, and so we are banned from, after, you know, Obama era, we worked so hard to be able to, you know, visit Cuba again and work on relations with Cuba. All that has kind of been reversed, and they have been placed back on the terrorist list, and we are banned from going to Cuba, which I think sucks because Cuba is such a beautiful country. The people there are Black people. You know, unfortunately, they do have a dictator as the leader of their country, but a lot of them don't fuck with their own dictator. But either, like I said, it shouldn't be a punishment on the people. The people are amazing. It's a beautiful country. I feel like a lot of us have wanted to visit, or the ones of us who did get a chance to visit were, you know, so lucky to do it. It sucks.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, man, I was like, so do I want to go on a cruise to Cuba or do I want to take a plane? And I was like, I'm going to take a plane. And I think about time, I was like, okay, I can do it this year. Shit, we was like, nope. That was when, as soon as he came in office and he was like, I'm putting a ban on there. And I was like, I feel like at this point, they're not giving you something secure. I hope I'm saying her name right. They're not going to turn that lady over. Let it fucking go.
It'll never happen.
Right. It's not going to happen. But I'm like, I'm jealous. I'm like, I want to go. Because I seen like a person that I follow, they went. I'm like, man, I should have just went, just gone ahead and took that bike and just went ahead and went. But I didn't. I was like, I could just go next year.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, I ended up going to Jamaica that year. And 2/3 of my household can go to Cuba and I can't. My son can go and my husband can go and I can't go.
More quick hitters. LaToya Luckett, she announced today on Instagram that she is filing for a divorce from her husband. There has been rumors, speculation of cheating, possible sex tape, all kind of just shit in the background. course, he decided to get on Instagram and say he didn't want the divorce and that he didn't cheat, and basically just making a complete ass of himself when all she did was say, please respect our privacy, and he decided to just be a complete ass. So hopefully everything for her works out and she can make it as quickly, speedy divorce as she can, because clearly she struggled with whether to pull the trigger or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, be like, bruh, because he was like, the people that are around you, be like, every time y'all be cheating, y'all get caught up, it always be the people around her. No, Negro. The people around you.
Exactly.
Every time you get caught, it's always the people. I'm like, of course, the people around her, if they see that she's hurting from this, it's something that she can't come back to, it's a sex tape, depending upon all the other details, then of course, I don't think, and I hate that when society, especially when it comes down to women, where it's always all your friends telling you to get a divorce. No. Sometimes it's just like, listen, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just here for whatever decision that you make.
Right.
And sometimes it be to delete your ass.
Yeah. Clearly she struggled with it, because it's been on the back, the rumors has been around for quite a few months now. So, and she clearly took her time to think about it and make the decision, do I want to do this or not? And clearly she said, you know what, I'm not going to stay somewhere where I'm unhappy. And good for her, shit. Also, we saw Yaya Mayweather. She gave birth to her son with NBA YoungBoy, his 7th child at the age of 21. Congratulations. Babies are a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. The babies are a blessing, because that's about the only thing. I really do like send her, like, listen, sweetheart, please just let it go. Take your baby, raise your kid, and move on. Because that right there is a lost cause.
Yeah. It seems like, I will say, it seems like these last couple of months, like maybe she, after I guess the baby shower, when he didn't even make an attempt to show up, acknowledge any of it, I think that maybe that was kind of like her kick in the face, wake up call moment. We've seen her now kind of be around her father again, really close with her mom, had the baby. So maybe she's just like, fuck it. I don't need you. I got all the family support that I got.
I'm hoping so, because I'm like, we know the baby will be financially fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot more comes with taking care of a child, but be like, at least you get that part. It's better than a lot of women's situation where you don't at least have to worry about that. But poor child, just let him go.
And she seemed to have a good support system with her mom.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Last quick hitter just popped up on the timeline. Sex and the City is doing a reboot on HBO Max without Kim Cattrall's character Samantha. I mean, listen, I think that we all kind of saw this coming. Kim Cattrall has said for years that she did not want to participate in Sex and the City anymore. They've been trying to get a Sex and the City going for years, trying to convince her to come back on board. She's always turned it down, said no, said she did not want to work with Sarah Jessica Parker anymore. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I feel like she made the show special.
Well, one of the things I thought about that they could do, I don't know if you ever watched the show, The Carrie Diaries, where it took place like before, it was like before Sex and the City, so it was like her high school years and college years leading up to Sex and the City, to kind of show you how she got there and how she met all of the different girls that eventually became her friend group. But she had like some friends in, a little friend group or whatever before that. And some of them shared some similar traits one of them shared some similar traits to Kim Cattrall's character, Samantha, before she met Samantha in the show. I mean, shit, I think it would be a cute idea to kind of tie it into the Carrie Diaries and maybe bring back some of those characters as the adults, because we never got to see, because basically when Sex in the City and Carrie Diaries, they kind of made it separate, like you didn't see, the only characters you saw crossover was Samantha. That was the only character they introduced in the Carrie Diaries, because it only had one season. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is that I think it would be a cute idea. Maybe you can, to kind of make up for that Samantha being missing, maybe reintroduce some of those characters from the Carrie Diaries, and maybe that'll bring some kind of new freshness to the series. Because in all honesty, I don't really know what they would do with a reboot anyway. So I feel like they told the story as much as they could tell. Shit.
Yeah, because it's the one.
Yeah. Last hot topic for this week: Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan had been rumored since around Thanksgiving that the two of them were booed up. And yesterday, the day before, whatever, they made it IG official and confirmed that they indeed are a couple. Congratulations to them. They make a cute couple.
Yeah.
Photos were cute. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the timeline's been blowing up. People have every time Lori Harvey shows up with somebody, it's always like a big whole thing on the timeline, going every which way. Honestly, I don't really get the hoopla again. She's 24 years old. She's doing what she's supposed to do, dating. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't get the hoopla either way. Like, I don't get why some people are calling her for the streets. No, she's not. Like I said, she's 24. She's supposed to date. That's what you're supposed to do. Then on the other end, I don't get the hoopla with the people saying, "Oh, she the GOAT," and this and that. For what? Dating? I don't get it. I don't.
That's the crazy. And I see like so many people when they like she for the streets. Who said she slept with these people though?
Exactly.
I'm like, you don't have to sleep with everybody that you date. Y'all know that, right?
Big facts. But I mean, I guess it does bring up some interesting at least in my opinion, it does bring up some interesting conversations, some interesting topics for us to discuss as far as the podcast is concerned. One of the topics I saw that it did bring up was people were saying, what is the difference between, it says y'all kind of praise Lori Harvey, but y'all not girls like Black China, Amber Rose, Drea. They were like, so what's the difference between her and Lori Harvey? And in my opinion, there is no difference. I think they all, date and mind they fucking bit. That's, you know what I mean? Again, they're women. They're allowed to date. We are allowed to date as women. It's none of y'all business what bodies we do and don't have. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the hoopla around any of it. But I mean, I think we would be foolish to say that there isn't like more of a stigma attached around those other girls as opposed to Lori.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I think Lori has this almost like, I guess like angelic thing, almost like, it's not that. I mean, I don't personally care. Like, the only thing with Drea is that she a bad mama, and her whole foolishness. But other than that, I'm like, I mean, I don't care.
Basically,
these grown women that can do what they want to do with their bodies and
date whoever the fuck they want to date.
Right. And I was like, and then you also have to think about it. I'm like, who are they supposed to? Y'all want them to date regular people? I don't know. I'm like, I wouldn't expect them to date. They're celebrities. No matter how you want to be like, oh, they D-list or Z-list celebrities, they're still celebrities.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect them to go in and be dating average dudes.
I mean, I would expect them to date money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
wherever it came from. I'm not gonna say that I would necessarily say that they have to stay in the celebrity realm, because there are plenty of girls who just date money. You know what I mean? They date doctors, lawyers, stockbrokers, business people, tech guys who make a shit ton of money. Like, I expect them to basically be where the money reside. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I ain't mad at it. And I agree with you like 100%. That's a better, I guess, explanation that I gave. But be like, they ain't gonna be dating you, you know, like, and I think that's a lot of men issues is that the women that they find desirable, like when you think about Amber Rose and Drea and all these people, they find them desirable, but they not within reach. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you can't get mad at that. They 1 out of a million. Find you somebody in reach. They're not the only bad women out here. They're bad women that you walk past every day.
Every day, right? Agreed. And I mean, like, you can't, and that goes for some women too, because I see a lot of women who knock these women as well, and I'm like, why? Why are you knocking these girls for what? You know,
they be going where the money reside.
You know, shit. They doing what the fuck they supposed to do, living their motherfucking lives.
They be where the money reside, and you just be out there.
Bitter.
Right.
Bitter and hating, okay? I ain't hating on them. Like I said, her and actually, I'll go out on a limb and say they actually look really good together. Like, them photos was cute as fuck. So, I ain't gonna hate, you know. I was rooting a little bit for Meg, I ain't gonna lie, because I wanted her to have her bounce back after that horrendous mistake she made with 5'2" Tory Lanez. But
oh Lord Jesus.
Jesus. I don't know.
But I want her with somebody bigger than like Michael B. Jordan though, because I just want her with like this big dude. Be like, I want him to slap Tory Lanez for her, but like I feel like, and I know this is just me thinking out loud because I think she said he had a girlfriend, but her bodyguard looks so cute together.
They do. They would be cute together. They would be. I just want to see her with somebody that's attractive, that's gonna take care of her. That she gonna look cute with. That's her. That's of height. It's a good height for her. You know. I know people was knocking the whole G-Eazy thing, but shit, at least he was of height. Goddamn, I'm sorry. At least when she had on heels, like, he was still taller than her. Like, people gotta remember, she is a tall girl, baby.
Yeah. And Tory Lanez, you could step on that little motherfucker and even though your foot went down. Make me, ugh.
And is he not getting on your last motherfucking nerve?
Him and these fake fans. Because I'm still tripped out. I'm like, where do these fans come from, Father God?
Where did they come from? I'm telling you. I am with you. I honestly, he is milking the fuck out of that whole situation. But I will say one thing that's really bugging me is the borderline scariness of it all, because he does seem, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, he seemed borderline obsessed.
He does, like, even I think, what was that, like, week before last, where he quoted some lyrics and he went and found a quote-unquote picture from it. I wasn't talking about her, bro. Nah, you were.
Yeah. Shit, the little slick shit that he been doing is so fucking weird that it's almost like it's giving off obsessed vibes to me. And I feel like if they don't lock that man up or something, like, she need every type of restraining order, security guard, like, keep that nigga away from her, because I feel like he would, like, lock her up in a room and, like, I don't know, like, try to kill her or something. Like, he's giving me obsessed crazy.
Like, keep your bodyguard with you. Like he said, you ain't gonna get out of his sight. Don't move.
Exactly. Shit's crazy. But yeah, I like I said, I'm rooting for her. I want to see her. I don't necessarily want to see her settle down, but I would like to see just her around good vibes, good people. Yeah. You know, I still want her to be young and enjoy her life, but just she needs some good energy around her, because shit, just craziness has been around her altogether. So, anywho, that's all we have for Hot Topics. Let's go ahead and jump into the relationship portion of the show. Do you want to kick us off, or you want me to start?
You can start, I guess.
All right. So I'm going to start, since we did just talk about Lori Harvey. I actually saw this floating around on the blogs. They said the question was, which would you rather have, Lori's finesse or Ciara's prayer, and why?
I hate to be this person to be like, it depends on the point of my life that I'm in, though. I don't know. I'm gonna say Ciara's prayer because I feel like when I was out here in these streets, I had the finesse, I had the juice.
Right.
So I'm gonna say Ciara's prayer, but even that goes because Russell kind of debunked it. But I'm just gonna go with Ciara's prayer because her family is so cute.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go there with Ciara's prayer.
So for me, I'm with you. I'm gonna go Ciara's prayer, and here's why. Because, like you said, like I was born with the juice, so I don't need Lori's finesse. I've been here, dad. I was born with that. I feel like most Southern girls, we born with juice, so we don't, it is what it is. Like you said, her mama from Memphis. Like we know that game already.
Listen.
So, we got that. That comes naturally to us. So, like you said, I feel like Ciara's prayer is a definite, like seeing her family, just seeing like I don't want to say the come up, but just like the elevation from the evolution from Future to Russell Wilson, in the way like he be looking at her when he talked to her, like this shit just that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I will take a Russell any single day because like he just be, and everybody who be talking about he corny and this, nah, fuck all that. The way he be looking at her and talking, nah, that nigga ain't corny. Let's leave it at that. Okay.
Still getting corny, like he's still corny.
Okay, I say corny at it.
I mean, and I think that's what people get it mixed up. There's nothing wrong with being corny. Some men are just corny. Like I love Safari, but Safari is corny as fuck. Like flat out. And I know it's like a whole little, like, not to get off subject where Erica Mena was mad because people call him corny. He's corny. There's nothing wrong with being corny. And corny is not synonymous with nerdy.
Right.
But he's corny. And I'm like, I find it endearing, like, oh, he's so corny and cute. And I feel like that's the same way with Russell Wilson. And I was like, I feel like Ciara, and I'm like, especially the way he used to dress. I do feel like Ciara elevated his wardrobe.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. He did help with the wardrobe. That is absolutely correct.
But I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being corny. I'm like, he was just that dude. I'm like, that doesn't make him unattractive or anything like that. He was just corny.
She definitely gave him a little bit of a fly. Like she gave him a little bit of his swag, I think, from dealing with her a little bit. But I mean, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do with your partner.
Yeah. Because I sure help mine out, so. Yeah.
That's what Beyonce said you're supposed to do. Let me upgrade you. Come on now. All right, so you want to do your question?
My question, I guess it stems from just the background. When like Sage the Gemini and Super went public, one of, I guess, his ex or somebody he's talked to in the past made a video. And I guess my question is, do you care, or what extent do you care about who your partner or spouse has previously talked to?
I would say I don't really care. I mean, as long as, obviously, you're going to have to know if there's like children involved. So that's, I mean, aside from that, like, I don't really care as long as you ain't bringing no diseases from it or anything like that. I don't really feel like the names, your bodies, or things like that are anything that matter. Like, that's your journey. That's the things that you were supposed to work on from your past relationships. So when we get to our relationship, you know the things that, you do and don't want. You know what I mean? Like, that's the work that you're supposed to do individually on your own, so that when you get to a relationship with me, you know what I'm saying? You know yourself better. You know how to be in a relationship, how to function within the relationship. So, but outside, like I said, if y'all ain't got kids and shit like that, and you ain't getting no diseases from it or nothing like no shit like that you need to share with me, then I don't really care. Like I said, I mean, obviously you should always talk about, like I said, sexual histories. Now that's always important. That's something y'all should always discuss. But I think that's with any relationship.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I don't care. I mean, I do agree 100% as far as like sexual histories or whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't care. And I hate when people, men and women alike. I was like, I can't speak if men do it a lot. Well, I would say they probably do because men petty and catty as fuck. But I hate when people I used to talk to them. Girl, I don't give a damn. What they got to do with me? Like that boils my fucking blood. When I used to talk. I mean, your point. That ain't got nothing to do. The only person I really care about if you used to talk to him is if you like a friend. Because I'm like, yeah, that's just, yeah, I'm good. But like just a rando from the streets, I used to talk to him, or you in my DM, somebody used to talk to him. Sweetheart, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Basically, I do not care. He ain't
You
looking at.
Right. You use the operative word. I used to talk to him. You talk to him now? Oh, well then goodbye. Good riddance, boo boo.
Big facts.
But yeah, I don't care.
And I feel like most people shouldn't care. Like I said, unless they had ties, like what do you gain from knowing names and dates and shit like that's, who cares? If it ain't overlapping with me,
Listen. And maybe because I had to go that route, especially like if it's like staying on a college campus and you like y'all eventually like, you talk to people and somebody else already talk to them. You like, well, she used to talk to him. Girl, I don't give a damn.
Facts.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Whatever their situation was theirs.
All
right, so that's all we have for relationships this week. Let's go ahead and move it into like new TV, books, music, anything like that.
As promised, I did nothing new for books or music. I did, and I have to go back and listen to it. I was doing other shit, but I did download Hotels. I haven't listened to it yet, but some of the lyrics are a little concerning for me from what I've seen. But I am gonna listen to it. I have started Bridgerton. I think I'm almost done. I love it. Okay. I thought I won. But Shonda Rhimes did her thing. But I wouldn't expect anything less from her, to be honest. It's messy as fuck. Like, I know you say you don't like period pieces. It's different periods for me. Some of them I pick and choose, which I like. It's good. Like I said, you'll probably enjoy it because it's messy as fuck. Like, messy. Like the Duke of Hastings. I forget his real name, but yeah, I like him. He's really attractive. Not my normal type, but he's very attractive.
Okay.
Brings a lot to the show. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I feel like I want you to watch it. But like I said, it's messy. It's good. I actually binge watched the shows that I did watch. And yeah, I was like, okay, come on, next episode. Netflix, like, you still I'm still here. Come on. The dresses were nice. The only thing that I guess, and of course it's a period, so you can't think about it like that. But I'm like, Shonda Rhimes always had good music in her shows. But I'm like, it's, you can't be playing, up to date R&B or something like that. And it's supposed to be the 16 or 1700s. But other than that, I like the spin that you actually see Black royalty, even though it was still like, their royalty was given to them by a white person or they married into it. But just to see Black people just enjoy themselves and, and like I will say the one thing, the queen is actually a Black woman. So just to see them live in, high class life and they're not just the help and, like this. So I really did enjoy it.
Okay. So my question to you in regards to that, I've seen some people talk about the trope of the interracial couple with basically Netflix, and even Shonda Rhimes has kind of had this trend now of always doing, either a Black man with white woman, black woman with white man, like the whole interracial couple thing. Did it bother you any? Did you even notice it? Like, give me some.
Oh, it's noticeable. It's noticeable as fuck because you have to. I think like most of the big couples on there are interracial. I'm like the main character. They're interracial. Let me see. Shit, the queen is married to a white dude and she black. I mean, it's noticeable. I went in with knowing like it's Shonda Rhimes. I'm like, shit, we seen that shit with Scandal. You seen it with How to Get Away with Murder. I didn't expect anything less.
Right.
I don't know for her if it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but you know how like I feel like in this quote unquote post-racial America, it's like this is how we gonna end racism or something like that. So I didn't expect anything less from her, and I also this is not giving her any credit or anything like that. But it's like, to be honest, when you look at TV shows, how else would you get a lot of fucking black people in one fucking show unless which is sad. But yeah, I mean, it's very glaring. Like if you watch it, you like it's right there in your fucking face.
Okay.
But I expected that from her because,
right.
like I said, with her past shows, that's what we've seen.
Right. So that was my takeaway from the jump. Like I'm like, well, that's kind of what Shonda Rhimes is kind of known for, in my opinion. Like I don't think I've ever seen her in any of her shows have like a functional black couple, with the exception on Grey's, where you have Ben and Miranda. But outside of that, I don't think I've ever seen like a functional, healthy black couple on any of her shows. So, I mean, I don't know what people were expecting in that, but I mean, I definitely appreciate the conversations around it, because I think that a lot of people are starting to question, like, okay, yeah, just like with any other type of relationship, interracial relationships definitely need representation, but can we acknowledge that there are different types of interracial relationships besides just black and white? Like, I think that's what was so special about the movie that Issa Rae did, where it was her and the Indian gentleman, I can't remember what his name is at this point, in that movie that they did, just because it was something other than just black and white. Because I mean, that is a reality of our world, that interracial relationships are not just made up of a black person and a white person. You also have Hispanic and Asian and Hispanic, Asian and black, Asian and white. I mean, it would be nice to kind of see some other mixes in there, but who am I?
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it, and I think we have to take a look at Shonda Rhimes as well. Again, not giving her credit or taking, responsibility for her for building it, because I do think it's a responsibility as well. None of the characters are fucking functional. Like, none of them. Because I'm like, even when you think about Scandal, none of them were fucking healthy relationships. We're not talking about perfect, just healthy.
Right.
And I think that's the same thing, in Bridgerton. Like, it's not, none of them are fucking healthy. So, yeah. Which is weird, though, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, that's like I said, that's why when it came to when I saw that she was the head of the show, I wasn't surprised, because she doesn't, like I said, with the exception on Grey's of Miranda and Ben's relationship, I mean, I've never seen her do, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never seen it, so.
But I've watched a couple of episodes of Grey's Anatomy, and they seem to have more, like, healthy relationships on there, even if it's like, but it's just something about her other shows now. I'm like, did something happen between, I don't know, or maybe they're different, I don't know, they're different writers or whatever, but it's like, Grey's, their relationships is like, okay, this is kind of like normal issues. Right. Whereas, like, when you sing with Scandal and How to Get Away, it's just like, yeah, damn, y'all are just horrible. Like, relationship people. Right. Y'all, like, sneaking behind each other back. It's just like, not even just like the cheating, just fucking conniving and manipulation and all of this lying. So, yeah, I was like, I don't know. Now it just make me want to go back and look at all of her shows over again. Be like, did something happen to you in between her? No. Yeah, that makes me. Yeah.
Good questions. Good questions all the way around. Anything else?
No, that was all.
All right. So on my end, I did actually listen to Hotels, Jasmine Sullivan's new album. I will say, with kind of the climate of music that we've experienced coming off of 2020, that was just like a dismal year in my opinion. Like nothing for me. That Jasmine Sullivan's album was Chef's Kiss. I appreciated just I guess because we're just so used to the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like I appreciated the fact that she put some artistry into it. Like there was some, you know how you had like the different little skits or whatever before each song that led into it. Like there was some thought into it, some creativity into it. To the point that now she's reaching out to Issa, and her and Issa are going to do an actual like short film around it. So you know what I mean? Like I appreciate the artistry of it, if that makes sense. Like it felt good to like, I don't know, listen to something that just had from top to bottom had like a concept.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen to it.
It got some records on there. Like I enjoyed it from top to bottom. There are, like you said, there are some problematic lines in there. In particular, I will say the record with Anderson .Paak, where he talks about it sounds a little bit, I don't know, sounds a little bit colorist. I feel like I got to go back and listen to the record though, just to kind of, because I only listened to the song once. But I want to go back and listen to it again to kind of really listen to the line, listen to the bar to see if maybe I heard it wrong or like I just interpreted it wrong. I don't know. So I got to go back and listen to that. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, it just, I don't know. It was some good records on there. That's all I would say. I enjoyed it. It was some fun records.
I think I'm I definitely gonna check it out because I put it on like my next up list, but I just haven't got a chance to actually listen to it. And plus, I love Jasmine Sullivan anyway, so yeah.
Well, I think you will enjoy it.
And then with her and Issa Rae, I saw that tweet. I was like, girl, listen. No, I love me some Issa. So.
Can I be an extra? Issa, I need to stop. Can I be an extra on this? Something. Let me get up in there.
Well, I just want to be Diddy and dance in the background.
Oh, Lord. So that's it for me as far as like music and books and all that jazz. That's going to bring me right into the nerd moment of the week. Basically, this nerd moment is going to be pretty short. I only got two things. The first thing is over at the CW. It has been confirmed. I think it's been speculated for a while. At least in my opinion, I figured it wasn't going to get picked up, but it has been confirmed now. Green Arrow and the Canaries, which is supposed to be the spinoff from the Green Arrow show that was based on his daughter, has actually not been picked up by the CW, so the show will not be going forward. Over on Netflix, the Umbrella Academy today announced the Sparrows, which is the if you saw the end of Umbrella Academy season 2, you saw that when they came back kind of from, because they were time traveling, and when they kind of came back to, I guess, kind of like the presence, there was a whole new set of Umbrella Academy kids called the Sparrows. Today we got the full cast list of the Sparrows, so 1 through 7. We know, who they are as far as who's going to be playing those characters. I'm excited for it. I enjoyed Umbrella Academy season 1 and 2, so looking forward to season 3 just to kind of see where they go with that. So all good things. And yeah, that's the nerd moment of the week. And that's pretty much it for me. Anything else on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else for me.
All right, so then per usual, we want to thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. And we will catch you next time. Good night, guys.